Two outcasts race across 1890s America, a genius inventor and a stoic samurai chasing redemption in a steam-powered death race. What am I talking about? Well, let's find out, shall we? Hello and welcome to an episode of the Spiraken Manga Review. I'm your host Zan, saying konnichiwa, aloha, bonjour, and what's up? And welcome to another episode of the Spiraken Manga Review, some podcasts and manga reviews about connected enhanced narratives, an awesome podcast where we talk about various topics, including manga, and more importantly, manga. And I tell you the pros and cons about it, how the art style is, and more importantly, if the manga is worth investing your time in or not. You don't have to agree with anything that I or my co-hosts say, but we try to be educational, enlightening, exciting, and most importantly, entertaining. You can check us out at www.spiraken.com. We're also on YouTube, Blue Skies, Instagram, and various other social media sites. Just type in SPIRAKN. And if you're watching on YouTube, more importantly, remember to like, share, subscribe, and click on that bell for notification for when we release new episodes. And also remember to subscribe because we do the best we can. And I know it has been a little bit of time since I've released a new episode. Things have been crazy, life's been weird, but I am back, I am ready, I am set to go, baby. So let's get to this with a fun manga, which is completely insane because of the premise behind it. More importantly, this was released during COVID at the same time the anime was coming out. So they were coming out simultaneously, and then the anime got stopped because of COVID, and the manga finished, and then the anime came out afterwards. But this is still a thrilling, amazing, insane story. And what am I talking about? I'm talking about Appare Ranman. This was created by Appare Racing, and the art for the manga is by Antonsiku. And this is the story of a group of individuals involved in the Trans-American Wild Race, a race across America from California to New York, which happened in 1890. There are actually a lot of evidence of this race actually occurring, but this is a very different version because it's very Wacky Races. And in the 1890s, there are multiple different types of vehicles that were available. We actually had electric cars, steam-powered cars, gas cars, and a few other alternative energies, which is really fascinating. And this is the story of a group of individuals who are getting involved in this completely insane wild race. And the person that we're talking about is a unique group of individuals. Isami and Appare, these are two, I don't want to call them idiots because they're not idiots, but there are two people who definitely should not be in this race, and they're driving a car which is not designed as a car. It's actually the remnants of an old boat they had. And let's just get to explaining who they are, because Appare is a genius who lived in Japan. He's the second son of the Serrano family, and he's really, really smart. The only problem is that his family is a bunch of merchants, and he causes problems with his weird inventions. More importantly, he recently got a hold of a copy of that one that only the great and all-powerful Jules Verne's Journey to the Moon, which is a really weird story from the 1890s, and he's now obsessed with leaving and making a rocket ship to go to the moon. But in order to do that, he has to kind of work his way up, so he's working on a boat that can get him from point A to point B. The only problem is, as he's doing his experiments, he's become a public nuisance. So the town magistrate has assigned someone to be his caretaker. And who are we talking about? We're talking about Isano. Isano is the eldest son of a family. He's also the assistant instructor at the Hangatsu Dojo. He has been busting his ass off, working to be really good at his life, provide for his family. His little sister has to get a marriage offer. He has to make sure this works, and he's not sure it's going to work out. He's going to do what he can, but he's going to push to make it work. And he also recently got his father got a potential wife for him. So he's like, I'm going to lose my wife if this doesn't work out. So fine, I'll take care of him. I'll make sure everything is good. We'll make sure that Appare doesn't cause any problems. And the only problem is that the magistrate has Appare arrested, and because Appare is a genius, he escapes. He gets out of prison after almost getting beaten up, escapes, and because of this, he's an escaped convict, so the magistrate can have him executed. So now Isano's like, crap, I either have to get this guy to apologize, or I have to kill him myself, and I don't want to kill him. He's just a dumb kid. So he goes to his house, and through a bunch of circumstances, and finding out about Appare's dream, we end up discovering that, well, he's created an actual boat that's going to be super powered, that is smaller and faster than most steam engines. And this steamship is going to go really fast. And Asano's like, please, they're coming to arrest you. Let me take you in. We can make it work. My sister's not going to get married if this happens. My family's going to be horrible done. Appare doesn't care. His family doesn't understand him. The only person who cares about him is his older sister. She's the only one that even gives him the time of day. And so after some more shenanigans, they end up escaping, and they're on this super fast ship that's going really fast away from their village in Japan. And then, after an argument, Asano hits a lever on the boat, which turns on its hyperdrive. Essentially, it's their increased speed, and they go super fast and go 600 miles away from Japan. They are now in open water with no food, no things, on a boat that no longer works because it wasn't designed to be this speed. This was a test model. This wasn't the final product. So after 14 days at sea, they decide to kind of stay together until they get back home. They get picked up by a boat, and then they end up in San Francisco, where they can rent a warehouse to live in while they get money to get back home. Meanwhile, no one wants to hire them. A lot of things happen, and then they end up getting involved in the wild race, which they're offering $1.5 million as a prize for the winner. So Appare, with his invention and the remnants of their boat, is going to make a new car for them. Meanwhile, dealing with all of the other crazy people who were involved in this kind of wacky race. This series is wild, it's crazy, and a lot of insanity happens in this. Because what's going to happen when Appare comes with this weird, insane-looking car against cars that are more traditional? And more importantly, what happens when he makes friends and enemies amongst the various riders, including a young Chinese girl who is a great mechanic, but no one wants to trust her because she's a woman, the head of one of the 3 sponsoring companies, and then a couple of criminals who are there for various reasons. What's going to happen? Who's going to win? You have to read this to find out. And this is a crazy story. It is exciting, it's violent, it's weird, and more importantly than that, it's really clever with what it does. In which is, it's about Asano and Appare learning to come together with their 2 very different mindsets. Because one is very, let's be traditional, let's be good, we can't do anything odd. And then Appare's, I have to think outside the box. You're thinking too small, we have to go crazy. And he's not really thinking about other people, he thinks about the projects. And then when eventually he starts to become more personable, we see this character growth that's really well done. There's more going on that I don't want to spoil because it is a one-shot. There's only 1 volume of this manga, and it's really good. It's really entertaining. There's so many clever characters. I mean, let's be honest. The members of the 3000, who I'm not going to spoil any of them, this is one of them. He has this weird mask on. And then we have 2 others, Dylan, who is Dylan the Good. They're all just nuts. And they're all unique, and you remember all of them, and you want to talk about all of them. And this all crescendos into a huge fight and stopping a train that may crash into one of the major cities. And you get all the Western elements. You get gunfighting, you get sword fighting, you get races, you have runaway trains, you have a damsel in distress, you have an evil black hat cowboy who's completely crazy and wants to cause problems. You have dynamite. This is a fun ride. The ending is very different than the anime. I ended up watching the anime afterwards, and it does something completely different. It changes motivations for certain characters, and also changes the reasoning behind certain decisions that the characters make. And on the one hand, the anime does a great job fleshing it out more. I still feel that the manga has the stronger ending and the stronger story overall because it is more tightly knit. It is more concise. It wasn't, oh, we had COVID, we have to kind of to pad this out. This isn't that. And, well, for that reason, I have to give this manga, which is well done. Well, actually, before I get into the rating, let's talk about the art style. Art style by Antonsiku is great. You do get some chibi forms, but you get some beautiful, beautiful mechanical designs in here. And you get some great double-sided panels, which they are beautiful. A lot of violent scenes, and the character designs are well done, where every character is different. You can tell Appare from Lingzhu, from Axel and Leon, and Isami. They all look different. I will say that it's kind of weird that Asami has this weird, like I drank high C and I have weird markings on his lips. No one else in the series has that. It's weird that he has that. They don't explain why, but that's a thing. So that is one part about it. But characters are well done. Story is exceptional. And for this reason, I have to give this Bar from a Friend Don't Return Unless Offered Pocky our second highest rating. Now you're probably wondering, why did I give this not the best rating of really, really cool? Reason why is this is a steampunk racing manga that's exciting and insane, but it feels like there could be more to this. This could be a whole series, not just a one-shot, but it is just a one-shot. It is a contained story which ends with a cliffhanger that they don't do anything with, and I would love to have seen them progress further. I'd love to see what Appare could do given more tech, given other advancements happening in the 1890s in the world. But we don't get that. And the art style looks very similar to the anime where you have that, like I said, you have the characters who each model looks very different from each other. You have these very unique character beats. Like I said, Leon, who is in charge of BNW, yeah, I know, subtle there. He is dressed very French and very, almost like a smooth knight. And then you have these other characters who are wearing the classic Victorian clothes. And then you have Isami, who is wearing a standard kimono, but then you have Appare wearing this weird festival outfit that kind of stands out. And then you have also some other characters who look completely insane. They're very modern. So the designs are unique with that. Overall, it's a great series, which is really worth reading. I highly recommend it. If you've watched this or checked it out, let me know. You can email me personally at Xan, that's Xan, at Spiraken.com. Or you can tweet me at Spiraken and let me know your thoughts on if you like this, don't like this, or what your thoughts are. And with that in mind, let's actually get to the manga releases of the week, because it has been a little bit of time. See, these are the mangas that came out this week, and there's some really good ones. So first off, we've got Ashita no Joe, Fighting for Tomorrow, Volume 3. Yes, the third volume in the tremendous story of Ashita no Joe. Got Akane Banashi, Volume 13, and an anime for this series is coming out. Astro Royale, Volume 1. Battle Royale Enforcers, Volume 4. The Bugle Call, Song of War, Volume 2. Colette Decides to Die, Volume 4. Cosmos, Volume 2. Dandadan, Volume 14. The Demon King is Way Too Overprotective, Volume 1. Demon Slayer Kimitsu Academy, Volume 6. The Devil Princess, Light Novel 1. Don't Hold Back Lord Hades, Light Novel 1. The Elusive Samurai, Volume 16. Fake Face Lip Breaks, Fly Me to the Moon, Volume 29. The Fragrant Flower Booms with Dignity, Volume 8. Girl Crush, Volume 2. Hira Yasumi, Volume 6. Hollow Earth Chronicles Side E, Yamato Fantasia, the light novel. Hunter x Hunter Omnibus 3, which is 789. I Want to Do Bad Things with You, Volume 7. I Want to Escape from Princess Lessons, Volume 3. This is the manga, not the light novel. In the Name of the Mermaid Princess, Volume 7. Inside the Tentacle Cave, Volume 5, and this is the manga, not the light novel. Jujutsu Kaisen, Volume 27. Kagurabashi, Volume 4. Kaina of the Great Snow Sea, Volume 4. Magalumiere Magical Girls Incorporated, Volume 9. Mao, Volume 21. Marriage Toxin, Volume 9. Mission Yozakura Family, Volume 18. Mobile Suit Gundam The Origin, the Deluxe Edition. This is the special edition which is coming out that looks really cool. And it is hardcover. My Husband and I Sleep in a Coffin, Novel Number 1. Natsumi's Book of Friends, Volume 31. No God in Eden, Volume 1. Not So Shoujo Love Story, Volume 2. Pokemon Sword and Shield, Volume 13. Queen's Quality, Volume 23. Rai Rai Rai, Volume 1. Rainbow After Storms, Volume 5. Rooster Fighter, Number 8. Ruri Dragon, Volume 2. Sacrifice of My Manly Soul, Volume 1. Sakamoto Days, Volume 18. Sakura Saku, Volume 8. Shoha Shoten, Volume 8. Snow Angel, Volume 2. Snowball Earth, Volume 6. Spy Family, Volume 14. Vinland Saga, the Deluxe Edition, Volume 8. This one looks beautiful. The Way of the House Husband, Volume 14. Welcome to Demon School Irumakun, Volume 15. Welcome to Irumakun Iru Mafia Edition, Volume 1. This is a special edition which does something a little bit different. Werewolves Going Crazy Over Me, Volume 1. Windbreaker Volume 13, and then last and certainly not least, we've got You and I Are Polar Opposites Volume 6. So these are the manga releases that came out this week, and we've got some really great ones. But for me personally, here are my top 5. They're going to be Astro Royale Volume 1, Sacrifice of My Manly Soul Volume 1, Rai Volume 1, Mobile Suit Gundam The Deluxe Origin Edition Volume 1, and then Welcome to Demon School Irumakun Irumafia Edition Volume 1. So these are the manga releases that I'm most excited about for this week. Which are the ones you're most excited about? Let me know. Email me personally at Zan, that's Xan at Spiraken.com, or tweet me at Spiraken. Let me know your thoughts. And with that in mind, I'd like to thank every one of you who've been checking out this podcast and been sticking around. I know it's been a little bit of time, and I appreciate each and every one of you who've been holding on. I thank you so much. We've got tons of content which are coming out. Things have just been a little erratic. Also, for those of you who went to Animazement and saw me there, I did not forget about you. We have a bunch of content that was released for you that you can look through the website for. Also, for those of you who are checking out the book club, I've released some new content on that, including talking about Dungeon Crawler Carl. I fell down that wormhole, so yeah. But regardless, hope you enjoyed this episode. Anyway, remember to like, share, subscribe, and more importantly, before we do that, I'd like to thank each and every one of you. Every email I get, every comment I get, every notification, every new subscriber gives me more motivation to keep doing this podcast. And I love doing this. I'm going to do this as long as I can until I'm an old man with thick glasses and, more importantly, long hair. So, and reading in large print. So, stay on this journey with me and let's see what we can do. So, with that in mind, let's get to the part that you have all been waiting for. The most important part of this podcast, the most popular part of this podcast. And what are we talking about? We're talking about that one, that only, the Wheel of Manga! Yes, friends, the Wheel of Manga, except no substitute. Now, what is the Wheel of Manga? The Wheel of Manga is a Wheel of Fortune with 10 slots on it. And what I've done is I've assigned a manga title to each of the 10 slots. So what we're going to do is we're going to spin the wheel. Whatever number it lands on, the manga that's in that spot is what I'm going to review in the next episode of the Spiraken Manga Review. But let's spin and see what we're going to review the next episode, shall we? Because we've got some really good titles on here. And also, you can see I fixed it up with some nice white chalk instead of the colored chalk. Number 2, Buffalo 5 Girl. This is a story which was written by, I believe this was written by Mayoko Ano, I believe. But this is a weird, well, I've heard it's a weirdly drawn story with a girl in a cowgirl outfit. What's it about? I'm not sure, but we're going to find out. So anyway, hope you enjoy this episode. As usual, I am your host, Zan. I'm Gonzville. Thank you for checking this out. I'll check you guys out next time. And remember to keep reading manga. See you later.